Alright, let's see. Peter? Wow, it's live right now. Dylan? Hey, Mike? Is that paint in my beard? Or it's my age, buddy? I've had these white patches for such a long time. Such a long time. In my early 20s, I had these. They grow bigger every year, but you know. Nice. All right. So I just got. Thank you guys. Thank you. I just gotta get this out. Even though we have a lot of you right now, if you're watching this in the after preview, whatever I'm trying to say, if you're watching this after it's live, I will be addressing a lot of my live people because that's what this is about. So I apologize again if that irks you, but this is all for everyone. Okay, so I'll say is Thursday nights around 7:30, in between 7:30 and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing live feeds. We'll say around there. I don't mind gray. I don't mind thinning. I love who I am. David Knowles can rock me. Yeah. I had my coffee and no orange shirt. No, my wife liked it. Yeah, you guys are everywhere. I had my coffee. All right, so I figured we keep this light. Probably about hopefully under 30 minutes. But you know, I have a lot of videos up there, and I know that I from all of your comments, and I can't thank you enough. Like, hello, Robert. That there's a lot of questions out there, and sorry, I'm trying to get and I want to see, like, I'll answer any questions from any of my videos, any sort of intricacies. I don't want to go outside of my videos right now because I have a lot of videos planned. I have my Blues Masterclass Part 2. Being fleshed out right now, and some other big, huge courses, and I want to kind of stay, but something about the major I cannot get. I know I need to clear up. Okay, so, Ryan, I'm going to, hold on for, curiosity, is your coffee cold or hot? It's hot. All right, I don't know if that what that means. Okay, so major and minor pentatonics. This is a question I get a lot, and I want to make sure you guys understand this. And oh, you know what? This is a great question. So I'm just going to address this issue, and I'll talk about my licks and everything in a couple seconds. More on the power of the five. Okay, just remind me. But hold on for 1 second. I come across a lot. You have to understand something. Okay, I'm going to speak for a second. Where did I learn everything I learned? Now, if you are watching this right now, which there are a ton of you, yeah, I saw that. He's not talking about staying away from the pentatonic. He's just talking about how important the major scale is, and the major scale is very important. But the pentatonic scale is just as important. He's just talking about, like, from the music theory perspective. But, like, when you're soloing, you're soloing in a pentatonic. But when you're songwriting out of a major scale or a minor scale. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that video that he made. It's just that what he means is, like, the pentatonic doesn't have the theory against music theory, which is, if you watch my the StichMethod major scale video, I go over how important the major scale is. It's the king of all scales. So that's all he's saying. I mean, it's a great video. Kind of eye-catching title, but nonetheless, like, he's right. But we use the pentatonic all of the time. So really quickly, why are I don't know. So hold on to questions. You guys need to watch the pentatonic mastery video. There's this thing going on with a lot of my students, which is, I don't know where it comes from, and I got to explain that where I learned my music theory from, or where I learned how to see this guitar. It all came from here. Okay, from figuring it out. I was getting really pissed with, you know, you'd open up one guitar book and it would say one thing, and you'd open up another guitar book and it would say another thing, and and none of them made sense, right? So I was on a quest to kind of make it make sense. And one of the things I figured out is that there are these 5 shapes of pentatonics that click together, kind of like Voltron, by the way, which, so back into Voltron now that's on Netflix, by the way, so that took me back when I was 4 years old. Got sidetracked. Back to the pentatonics, okay? So they click together, right? And a lot of people say, well, there's a minor form 1, and then there's a major form 1. And I'm gonna call this bullshit. Okay, I said it. There's 5 shapes. Each one of those shapes has a major root note and a minor root note. Okay, and that's very, very important. And you have to understand that, you know, you can play 1 as the minor, and you can play the same one as the major. Hey, Josh, what's up, Josh? So, oh, Kala, I'll be up there in a little bit. All right, so I want you to go back. If you need to watch my pentatonic mastery playlist, it clearly defines how you just need to study 5 shapes. If you study it the way that I see a lot of, it's 10 shapes. But the thing is, it's the same 5 shapes displayed twice in different ways. Why would you do that to yourself? So there's 5 shapes of a pentatonic scale. Okay, that's all you need to know. There's 5, and realize it's called a pentatonic. All right, so it's not called a minor pentatonic. It's not called a major pentatonic. It is the pentatonic, a 5-tone scale, completely malleable. Has 2 root notes, 1 being minor, 1 being major. So oh nice. So I want you guys, if you have any questions about that, just watch my relative major, relative minor video, and watch the pentatonic mastery playlist. Okay, so with that being said, that's my view on it, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so should I be watching you or practicing guitar? Both. So how do you think so fast when improvising on any scales? Okay, that's a great question. How do you think so fast? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Chord tones and the other chords while doing this. Scott, no. We'll talk about that in a modes video. How do you think so fast about? Okay. Just do. Okay. Here's the problem. Soren. Okay, so he says don't think, just do, and that's kind of like a Yoda thing. But the problem is that you have to think, you have to practice, and I want to let you in on a little secret here. When you go and see musicians play and in a band, right? They have rehearsed a lot, like a lot. For every time you had a morning coffee, a bowl of cereal, worked through your day job, and hated your coworker, and gotten home and had to clean up, they are rehearsing in that entire time. So when they go out and they look like they're communicating with each other, or they look like they're closing their eyes and just doing, it's kind of an illusion. If you ever watch your favorite guitar player out of context, yeah, like the thing is, like, even Shanti's and Flea's jams, they are rehearsed, yes. But if you ever watch one of your favorite guitar players out of context, like okay, Trey Anastasio with Warren Haynes, you know, when they get together, it's not as sharp as you want it to be, and it's because they haven't jived together. They're basing their movements on theory. So what you want to do is, I also said your favorite. Whoa! I meant oh, cool. Okay, that was a cool comment. Sorry. I'll get back to that. So, make a long story short, you rehearsing your chord shapes, your scales, and all that stuff will give you the ability to close your eyes and just do. But the most important way to solo is first. Let's talk about this. And I'm kind of ignoring the questions that are down here while I mention this. I have a student whose name is John. John, hopefully you see this video and you like it. We're going over how to solo and chord changes, but the most important piece is just picking a major or minor groove. Now, there's a difference between looking up a backing track, right? Like, let's look up an A minor backing track, any genre. So you set your gear shift for the high gear of your soul, or, you know, just the A minor scale, and you go. And if you do it in G major, you're going to say, okay, let me set to G major scale, and you're going to use the scale. But if you're improvising with jam band music, which is a different thing, okay, where there's chord changes, you have to first play the chords over and over again and know those chord changes, and that is your ground level. And as you keep going, you start to apply the chord tones in the scale. So the best way to do it is first warm up with backing tracks. I need any advice on how you use them and not play like a robot. Yes, watch all my videos that have the Never Lost in there, by the way. It'll help. But to make a long story short, you want to practice your scale work first for technical skill. I mean, that's important. You want to be able to... Okay? Eyes closed, no scales, just feeling. I don't think that's gonna sound good if you're not rehearsed in your scales. I hate to say that, but I've never met one person that can just close their eyes and just play the guitar. I don't mean to sound rude, but you obviously have either you're playing a pentatonic and you can close your eyes and flop around on the pentatonic, or you have pitch perfect pitch, and then you can play any instrument. I'm not trying to crap on you. It's just there's a backing to you. You have a robot. You have the person said I can play by closing my eyes, and either you've rehearsed it, or you know your scale, or you play the same key over and over again. I've never met one person. So if all you guys who are doubting whether you have to hear it, it's BS. I've met one person out of the hundreds of thousands of people. Can you learn theory without all the fancy talk? Yes, you can learn all the theory without the fancy talk. Guitar Pro, I'm going to ask you, have you watched my videos? I'm going to wait, okay, for Guitar Pro. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I approach theory from a very, benign, I think that's the right word, sense of, like an approach. I don't like to be like, well, let's talk about some physics. Watch them. Watch the ones that are theory-based, like the major, minor, the power of the five. And listen, you can learn the theory. The problem is, and I don't mean to make fun, I mean, there are teachers from the Guitar Institute in Berkeley and all this stuff, and they talk the talk, but my God, is it such an exclusive club that that has a vocabulary of their own that makes you feel insecure. I mean, honestly, if you can count to 7, you can play guitar. And that's the truth. So, if you find the guitar talk intimidating, you have to find your language. It's like the difference between Sprinkles and Jimmies and Pop and Coke and Subs and Heroes and, you have to find the vernacular or the wording that makes sense to you, which I think is here at the StichMethod. All right, see you guys later. That was a good way to end it. No, I'm kidding. All right, so next question about StichMethod stuff. I have a guitar in my hand. I don't know why I'm not even playing it right now. I hope that made sense. Okay. Much love from New Zealand. Oh my God. Should you stabilize your hand? Okay, yeah. Should you stabilize your hand? Here's the funny thing about hand stabilization. When to use the major third. When you're playing a major chord, Mike. When you're playing a major chord, play the major third. It's going to sound beautiful. He's talking about stabilizing your hand. When you... All the guitar players I absolutely love will touch the guitar here somewhere, so that keeps their hand level and their pick kind of honed in onto what string. But if you notice, it's so funny. Again, Jimmy Page, Clapton, all these guys. But Jerry Garcia. But Trey Anastasio is a free floating wrist like this. I mean, he's not touching. So, for every 20 examples of bracing, there's one guitar player who doesn't, and it's what's comfortable to you. But I find that by bracing, you can move this pick kind of on this nice plane. Major or minor, correct? Okay, so here's a question. This is a good question. Oh my God, there's too many questions coming. I'm so sorry that I can't read these fast enough. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I see this making sense. What do you think about gypsy jazz and Django? Okay, well, here's my thing on jazz, and I'll be very, very, very honest about my take on jazz. For any guys who want to learn jazz, I think you know this. Jazz is the penultimate type of guitar playing. If I wanted to study jazz, I would have no problem studying jazz. I'm not trying to sound like a conceited, but I understand how music works. And my whole goal for the StichMethod is that you understand really how music works on the guitar so you can pursue any genre. If you want to pursue jazz, you got to know a ton of music theory, but you got to understand it in its simplest context, all right? So, thanks for, no problem. So, I love listening to jazz, when it comes on the satellite radio, or if one of my students shows me, especially Django and gypsy jazz, that stuff's amazing, but it's not in my, I'm not oh, I'm going to go play some jazz. I grew up with Zeppelin and Guns N' Roses, fell in love with Fish, so I went to the rock kind of stuff. Yeah, as simple as possible, but no more. I mean, it's simple. Would you say knowing octaves makes one understand scales better? Yes, of course. If you see my StichMethod major scale, everything in music. Okay. Okay. 1 second. How to see chord shapes and corresponding scale? That's coming out in a Masterclass. I can't answer that in a 20-minute or 30-minute or 40-minute video. I don't mean to sound rude, but this, I guess, is a teaser, and this is kind of so conceited. Man, I should get an ego check. But I have the best, and I mean the best, most potent method to teach, cage chord, scales, chords, movements, up and down, clarity on the neck that I've ever come across, and it's been proven over and over again when I teach FaceTime lessons, and people are like, oh my God, this is not how I was taught it. I'm like, I know. So we'll get there. I can't do it now, and I can't do it in an hour. It takes a long time, but you can do it. So your thought on John Frusciante. John Frusciante is great. All right, so back to the question was, here is the reality of music, okay? Here's, oh my God, there's so many questions. Masterclass 2 is coming out soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. All of music, all of it, happens right there in between those 2 octaves. So the more that you know that happens in between 2 octaves, the more that can happen in between 2 octaves, you will be the best guitar player on your block, unless your neighbor takes StichMethod lessons as too. Bob Weir songs or Jerry Garcia songs, which do you prefer? Ooh, you know, for a long time, I'll be serious, I was like, I hate Bob Weir singing. And then, like a long time ago, and then all of a sudden I realized like what songs he wrote, and I was like, oh man, he's just as good a songwriter as Jerry. I love them both. I think they're great. Thank you for all the compliments. Next question, please. And if they fly by, I'm just gonna pick one. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna pick one. I appreciate all the accolades, as we'll say. Yes. Oh, that's a great question, Zach. Done. Okay, so the Never Lost Pentatonic. I really want to get on this because again, over 1 million views, but it is designed as a staircase to go through the 5 shapes of the pentatonic seamlessly and have you understand where the intervals that you need are. You can play a Form 1 pentatonic, you can take your Never Lost into a Form 2, you can take it back to a Form 1, you can take it into a Form 2, you can hang it out into a Form 2. Ryan, I just talked about minor versus major, so watch that on the replay. Hey Don, how you doing? And then if you want, you can take it into Form 3, right? And you can stay in Form 3 if you want to, or you can take it into Form 4. Or you can take it back in, and so like it's a path, okay? It's just a path. Okay, so anyway, maybe a video on tone settings, amp volume. Okay, so in the mind of Joe Perry, maybe how many pentatonics and boxes do you think? Guitar Pro. I have an awesome video planned that I have planned. It's not necessarily in the mindset of Eric Clapton. I'm going to use a term from my other one, but it's Eric Clapton's secret weapon. And I'm making a video very soon on it. And it's so awesome because it's so simple, but you totally understand. I've covered bits and pieces of the minor cage chord system. That will be in my caged masterclass. That will just blow your mind. He uses a few licks, but he uses one awesome thing, and I'll get into it in a video. A highly produced video where I'm wearing a purple shirt or something. Who knows? How do you get the melodic know-how? Is there a way to understand that? Oh, okay. Is it Louis or Louise? I don't know. Okay, so there's a great question, and we're gonna sit with this for a second. I want everyone who's still live or on the playback, Louis, right? Is that it? Louis. There you go. That's how I would say it. All right. So listen, the melodic know-how. All right. Here's the deal. If you're watching this on playback or watching this live, just hear me out. You can read a book about golf, right? You can read a book about art. You can educate yourself. Someone is opening my door. Oh, sorry, my daughter is right here. I'm live on. Hey, what's going on?
Daddy, my finger, it really hurts.
Okay, when I'm done in about like 10 minutes, I'll come put a band-aid on, okay? Say goodnight to everyone. Bye-bye. Okay. That was my daughter. All right, I gotta put a band-aid on her thumb. All right, so where was I? Okay, the melodic, just listen, melodic know-how. All right, this is very important. No, she's not bleeding. She doesn't hang now. No, she's not bleeding. Melodic know-how. Hear me out. You can gather all the knowledge in the world of like what does what on the guitar, but the problem is, just like you said, like if you're not letting go of the knowledge as you play, then something is wrong. And what I mean by that is she didn't cut herself. If I'm okay, so let's do a little example. Okay, let's do a little A minor groove. Hold on for 1 second. Okay. Okay. So just an A minor to a D minor, right? And let's see. Let's see. Okay, I got my tube screamer on, low volume. So now I know my pentatonic, right? That's just down the pentatonic and up. First thing you want to try doing is you have to understand the term musical direction or musical intent, and this is where technical prowess comes into play. But when I'm listening, and when you see guitar players like closing their mouths and like they're thinking about their direction. So right now, I'm going to show you the first one. I'm going to plan it out, but like I'm going to go high, come back to center, go low, and come back to center. And by center I mean root note. So what you really want to practice is your musical direction. You want to listen to where you want to go to. You want to realize that on guitar, higher is this way or this way, and lower is this way or this way if you're just in the pentatonic. So high, back to center. Now I'm going to come low. And then I'm going to come back to center. Repeat. I like the way that felt, like coming low to high. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go up high, higher. There you go. All right, so watch. So now back to center. I lower the looper. All right, so just basic pentatonics, okay? So now, here's my root note, okay? Now go ridiculously high, okay? Like. Okay, but the thing is, you have to assess where you are, and you want to decide whether you want to go high or low, first and foremost. And here's the deal, is you don't want to jump there, you want to walk there, okay? Because the person listening doesn't want to hear, like... You know, it sounds jagged, so you lead there. So what I want to do is I'm going to go high, and then I'm going to come back to center, go high again. I'm planning out now, go back to center, then I'm going to go low. But when you're playing in real time, you really want to listen to what you're doing, okay? So here we go. So here's the pentatonic saving the day, right? And all I'm doing, and this is real, no, you don't want to add bits of another key. I don't mean to sound rude. That's not how music works. So get that idea out of your head. So call and response. Great, we can do call and response. But what I want to say, and I forgot what I was going to say, is, hold on, I'm working there. Oh, when I'm teaching my students, I tell them this. The reason that we play the pentatonic is that there are no wrong notes in a pentatonic. There are no wrong notes in a pentatonic. So if the rule is hit any note, it's going to sound good, you can start to learn how to trust yourself as a guitar player. Okay? You want to Jimi Hendrix, yeah, he's great, but I'm using a ditto pretty much a ditto looper. It's like a cheap version of it. But if you have a platform that you know is not going to sound is not going to sound bad, then you need to practice your directional intent. All right, so now, call and response. Call and response is very, very easy. Now, you can do it many different ways. I'll do the most, ditto, great, hey, Red Wall was, ditto. So, the easiest call and response to do is like a high-low, right? And again, you can do it so many ways, like open your mind, all right? Like, open your mind. Do what you need to do to open your mind and think about different ways to call and response. So, here's my center root note. So, I'll do a call here, and then I'll answer it below. Okay, so here, let's see, and then high and low, so here. Call response. So there's so many ways. You can do a call and response where you end up high, like on one string, and end on this note. You know, there's so many things. It's a conversation. It's a conversation you're having. Like, all right. So now, I'm glad you're loving this all. I hope this all made sense. If you think that you suck at soloing, which, by the way, I'm just letting you know, every guitar student player does. They think they suck. It's just like you always want to do more. Step number one, put on a backing track, and we can talk about harmony, but I can't do that now. This is more about stuff that I've done on my channel right now. Oh no, my daughter's the best. She just had a hangnail. She's wonderful. She's patient. I'm not ignoring her. Don't worry. We had a great time today. Okay, so No, I'm great. Okay, you're great. That's good. Okay, that's awesome. I was just trying to comfort everyone. All right, so we have a couple more minutes here to talk about Pentatonic referring to different kinds of world music. Okay, well, we gotta watch my blues videos. Just watch my blues videos. What is your opinion about Buckethead as a guitar player? I think he's wicked. I think he's fast. I don't listen to him. There you go. I mean, he's awesome. If I ever met him, I'd be like, dude, you're Buckethead. You're awesome. You're great. That's great. But I don't listen to him. Like that's it. Zach Wild, awesome rock guitar player. Again, I don't really listen to him that much. I'm very, very limited. When do you add in the augmented pentatonic? What is an augmented pentatonic? Let me know what somebody means by that. Is that with the sharp 5? The sharp 5 augmented? If I met Trey, what would I want to ask him? I would want to ask him, how does it feel to be regarded as a tremendous guitar god, but not having people really know what your other passions are? Because that's you gotta understand. I mean, like, from his perspective, everybody meets him is like, dude, you're awesome, but that's a human being, right? That's a human being who has other passions, other like things he wants to talk about in life. So augmented fifth, that's what I was thinking. Like, Fish. Eventually you'll remember where the sounds are on that. Yeah, that's very true. All right. Anyway, so what else? What other kind of questions can I answer about any of my videos that I already have? Any Dead song. Do you do Johnny A style? No, I don't. I'm sorry. One riff I was just doing with my student Ben yesterday, which is a great stretching idea. I think I'm going to make a video of it, is It's Ice by Fish. It's great if you want to practice your sustain, not playing it fast, but like learning how to like drop your thumb. There it is. That's a great riff. It's Ice is one of my favorite songs, but that's a great riff for like dropping your wrist, this type of thing, because I mean, and sustaining. You had a video about learning the notes on the fretboard. Do you know where all the notes are cold? Yeah, I do now, but eventually I didn't. But one string like horizontally. Yeah, that's easy. I mean, I kind of have that in my Sugaree solo video, I think. Okay. Anything else? I'm enjoying this. I'm glad that there's so many of you here, and I'm really enjoying all of this right now. And I think that I'm trying to, I sent you an email regarding blues trick number 3. Oh, yeah, okay, Jared, hey, yeah, he sent me an email. I think this is it. I got to address this issue. He said, hey, man, in blues trick number 3, you're talking about that major third, and if I'm not mistaken, I show you this major third and this major third. Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. Right? And the flat fives and the major third, I have on the fretboard, it's a black dot here, but I did not label the major third here. Is that what you're talking about? Like, because it's not labeled, but that dot is not the major third, but the one that's next to it yes, okay, cool. So yes, so it's not wrong, it's just I didn't put it in on the higher one. You can do it. I mean, you obviously made the assumption, so good job. Dropping your thumb and why. Okay, so oh yeah, let's talk about that. Oh, hold on, low power mode, right? Gotta take care of that. Okay, so can you use? Okay, so dropping your thumb is actually quintessential. I'll be making a huge YouTube video on it. I will, on dropping your thumb. If you have your thumb up like this, it creates a lot of problems. All right, I'm just letting you know that, and I can't get too much into it, but it creates a lot of problems when you need to drop your thumb. But we'll talk there. Yes. For that, whoever the A minor pentatonic video, the question was: Is there an A minor pentatonic up high? There's an A minor pentatonic on every place on this fretboard, and if you watch my if you no, you want to drop the thumb. Trust me. Like, well, if there's a caveat, but you want to drop your thumb. The thing is, where was I? Oh yeah, there's an A minor pentatonic everywhere on the fretboard. Watch my pentatonic mastery playlist. Okay, so yes. There you go. All right. Any other questions? We got a couple more minutes. I really appreciate you being here. Hello, Tel Aviv. No, you know what? The question is practicing on acoustic or practicing on electric? I totally recommend practicing on acoustic. It's going to build your finger strength. And sorry, G major, not A minor, C major. So I didn't catch that. I'm sorry, faded. It's Ice. It's a great song by Fish. It's Ice. So I like to practice on acoustic. I got my acoustic right there. The thing is like when I get home, my kid's usually sleeping, and I don't really get to practice my acoustic too much. Whoa. No, the speed of a solo does not matter ever. Some of my favorite. I have. Okay, in the mind of SRV, like here's the thing about Stevie Ray Vaughan. He is all of my blues primer playlist and my blues masterclass just fast. But he's great. He's not doing anything that I don't. Stevie Ray Vaughan is not doing anything that I do not talk about in those classes. What's my day job? I teach guitar for a living. I teach guitar in person, in studio, in home, FaceTime, and now YouTube. Play Led Zeppelin. I'll play Led Zeppelin, of course. Are you going to have lessons on expanding? Yes, I'm going to have expanding modes. Do you have videos about practicing with it? Do not practice with a metronome. Jared, let's talk about metronomes. Has anyone seen me on Sean's channel? What do I say to practice with that is not a metronome? Yes, I can do that for you. But, like, what do I say? Don't use the metronome anymore. You are in a day and age right now where you can practice with something totally different. Drum tracks, thank you. Go on YouTube. Yes, drum kits, drums. Go on YouTube. Look up backing tracks, drums. And you can hear the boom, the boom. And you can sit, instead of going click, 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 you can go boom, and like boom. What are my hobbies outside of guitar? Nothing. Like, honestly, hanging out. Just hanging out. I'm getting. I believe it or not, you can probably imagine this. I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm very, very busy with guitar. Struggling with how to add different feeling to solo. We'll get into that. Show us roses are free. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh my God, roses are free. Dun, 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 dun. Well, how come I can't remember that? Oh my God, dude, I used to know the. Hold on, roses are free. Now this is gonna really piss me off. I mean, I used to play this all the time. Yeah, something like that. Oh my God, I'm so like absolutely mad at myself. John Mayer, you must have an opinion on him playing with the Dead. I think he's phenomenal. I think I do know Dance Days. I think John Mayer is the best stand-in that. Yeah, I'm so pissed. I'm gonna make a video just on it right now when I can forget it. Where was I? Was some question? I'm getting all distracted right now. I'm really upset that I can't remember that solo. See, there we go. I'm not playing Freebird. No, not playing Freebird. Did anybody hear my Robin Trower? That's interesting. Has anybody heard my story about me going to go to go see Marilyn Manson back in 1998 in Syracuse, New York? Yeah, I'm a flat picker, I think. Roses Free should be good. I don't know if I've ever told this story. Maybe I was an RA at Syracuse University. Okay, so I was like in charge. I was on the floor. I was like the best RA ever. I would give people chocolate when they were high. Anyway, so one of my residents had a ticket, and we went, and it was up. We were we were up on the balcony, and they played Freebird 13 times in a row before they came out, and it was like torture. I mean, like. And the second time we're all like, whoa, they're playing it again. The third time I was like, oh my God, I know what's happening. And I was like, this is going to be terrible. And it was 13 times. And then they came out. And I actually was so like fried that I just sat in the seat. And I swear on my life, Marilyn Manson pointed right up the balcony and said, and he cursed. He's like, you blah, 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 you better stand up at my concert. And I was like, God, jeez. So I had to get up and stand there. And I was like, come on. Anyway, so it was crazy. Yeah. So that's my story. It was terrible. Anyway, all right. So I gotta get going, guys. Fish songs, major pentatonic. So I'm sorry. I really gotta get going now because as you know, my daughter needs a Band-Aid. Yeah, I know. I really appreciate all of you being here. Here's the deal. I have a whole new arsenal of content, more in the mind of. And I have some new master classes coming out, and again, like, I don't want you to guys to be like oh crap, a master class to pay for. They're not expensive, but for any of you guys who've taken the Masterclass 1 series, I'm getting a lot of good feedback. Yeah, the Cage Masterclass is going to be nothing shy of phenomenal, and it's going to come out way later. I have a lot to do, but I can't thank you all enough for being here live, for being here watching the review, for commenting, for subbing, for sharing. You guys are awesome. You make my life better, and I hope that I'm making your life better. So thank you again. I'm going to go take care of the daughter, and no problem with the live streams. Thanks again, everyone. Rock and roll. Bye-bye.